Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to my F1 2019 Manager Career Mode here with Red Bull Honda for round number 5 in this season at the South African Grand Prix. If you guys did miss the previous one, the Portuguese one, then be sure to go check the one out before you see this one. After that episode, then very clear, they still have a lot of work to do on the car to try and catch up to Mercedes, and really more kind of Hamilton in a way. Obviously 101 points to Gasly's 55, Verstappen with 43. He's the only one who's got a win so far for us this season, 1 to 3 wins for Red Bull to Merc, and Gasly's maintaining ahead of Verstappen despite not having a win, so being the more consistent one. Obviously Verstappen had the crash, then was out for one race, so it makes sense. But actually, you know, I was just kind of curious looking around the tables because of the random grid order. Apart from the top here of us three, and the top 4 maybe with Leclerc as well, it is quite mixed up because of the random grid order. We got Vettel with only 2 points this season in P17. You got the likes of Alonso and Alpine Racing down in 19th place. Who else really got the Haas car? Magnussen, I would expect him to be a lot higher. Norris is with 0 points, whereas Carlos Sainz got 16, so a massive difference there between teammates of how lucky they've got, I guess. You know, we've got Toro Rosso with Hulkenberg and Max Chilton in 2 to 12 points, so definitely a nice spread of points here, and the Racing Point cars are doing quite well in this random grid order era in P3 there. They're actually doing very, very well. They're ahead of Ferrari still by a few points. So, yeah, it's all quite mixed up here. So let's see how South Africa goes. South Africa, it was a tough one for us last season, I think, if I remember correctly. But we've got some questions from Movie Star. Simple question, which one of your drivers is better? I'll say Verstappen. It's true. And also that's not going to affect Gasly in any way, so that's fine. But yeah, Hamilton wins, Tondela, GP. So, I don't know. Cape Town, let's hope we can try and take the fight to him and try and get a second win under our belt. In terms of the percentages of our pit crew, we've got a few guys that are quite high, so we'll do some swapping now and bring back some people that have rested up. We've got this level 19 that we definitely need to bring in. So we've got 2 19s there. It's a 2.15 pit stop. That's a very good pit stop time. And these guys are all fine, so it's all dandy. We don't really need to hire anyone, do we? We've got some great hires. They don't really cost much, so we may as well hire them. Front jack, I think that was pretty good. 17. Rear jack, 17. Fixing, 18. You know what? I'll just go ahead and hire just for the sake of it. It's not really gonna... It's a drop in the water for us. It's not really too much in terms of income, is it? So we may as well. We're going to reject these 2, but we're all good. I mean, finances-wise, that hasn't really hit us at all. We're still 1.2 per race, plus the bonuses that we get, so we're all good. So we'll move on then. Oh, no, we've got an engine cooling system disaster. We found a leak in Verstappen's engine cooling, so we're going to have to go for, yeah, we're going to have to spend $500,000 to make with the fixings. That's a bit unfortunate, but there you go. Those things happen. I was about to say, we need to build a new part now. We haven't got a new part on the build. So I'm going to go for gearbox, because that appears to be one of our weaker spots there, so we're going to go for that. Gonna go for here, I'll go for this risky level, I think, because I can remove the risk level for $1 million, which is annoying, but the rest of the greats aren't really that great, if you can see what I mean. So we're gonna go for that, because that will be the highest, yeah, 1153. That's the best average upgrade we can do. Then I do this one, which I believe is the highest, 1173, 1188, and then I just remove the risk level, and so there's none. So I think that's the best way to go about it. Gets us an iteration. It's going to cost us 2.2, so that's quite an expensive part because of that removal of the risk level, but I think it'd be worth it. And of course, we're still waiting for a few weeks for all these facilities to be made so that we can go higher than great, but for now, that's going to be good enough for us, I think. Right, so we're going to get straight into Cape Town then, because really there's nothing more to actually do in terms of admin stuff, so we can get straight into this then. It's going to be practice is rainy and the race is stormy, so this could be quite a good episode for us, because obviously Verstappen's good in the wet, and generally speaking, we can sometimes get one over on AI, sometimes if it's wet, but if it's going to be raining the entire race, then it's a little bit different. If there's a transition, we could definitely try and jump and do some clever stuff there maybe, but let's see. Tyre selection, because it is raining a lot. May as well take a lot of ultras, a lot of supers, and I'll take in 3 softs just in case, but honestly I think we'll be covered with the tyres we've got there on the ultra and super soft tyres, especially with the lack of qualifying. In terms of fit parts, we've got no new parts to fit, so I think we're all good with what we had before, aren't we? I believe, yeah, all good there. Yeah, all good. I'll just give them the same thing. So Verstappen's got a slightly better car, but Gasly's still got a pretty decent one, and let's just get into it. Alright, taking practice can be dry at the start here, so I'll send them out on a super soft stint. I reckon, again, the middle tyre will be the way to go for this one. It won't matter maybe, though. If it's going to be raining a lot of the race, then it probably won't matter even at the end of the day. But let's just check. Doesn't look like the rain will come for the first third of this stint. So I actually might just keep them out and do the setup later in the wet, because I'd rather just try and get the knowledge right now, grind that out as quickly as we can, and try and get as many levels as possible, perhaps, to use in the race, because the rain is not even going to come halfway through the session there. 12 minutes, still doesn't look like any faint sign of that rain. So maybe that's something to say for the race. If it says raining in practice and it's not for most of it, then maybe stormy in the race. Will only be a few little spurts of full heavy rain monsoon weather in the race. So we could see a bit of a transitional kind of period in the Grand Prix. We've got 2 levels on race and super softs. I've only gone for 4 laps though, because I didn't actually expect to go for so long. So let's quickly check the setup and then we'll send them out very, very quickly. But what are we saying? Setup from the Renault days. Looking pretty good for Verstappen there. 2 excellents and a great. Can continue on then. 98%. Yeah, just go on then. Plow on, mate. Gasly got a bit of work to do there on the handling front, but he is now officially, he doesn't have the musician trait on anymore, so he's gone back up to his 4 stars that he was. Hopefully we see a bit more of an improved Gasly now this episode, but then go towards understeer, because that's what Verstappen kind of liked, and then speed balance, not too sure. We'll see how towards top end speed goes maybe, and we'll just go out there. So change that and go, and the rain's going to come at the end, right at the end of the session, so we should be able to get 3 levels actually. So pretty successful practice session to say. I thought it was going to be a pretty useless one. Yeah, pretty good. So yeah, all 3 levels got. May as well bring them in now. I'll check the setup. And Gasly's gone the wrong way. Okay, he wants oversteer. Okay, interesting. So the driver's a bit different there. Verstappen preferred a bit more understeer, and Gasly wants oversteer. So we were there. So let's go back to like that. Might be something like we need. Something, I think that might be an excellent. And then he was still great for those 2. So it won't really matter too much what we do on that front. So go quickly test that on a set of ultras. May as well. And Verstappen, you're coming in. I may as well send you out also on ultras just to get some extra knowledge. You never know. You never know. So 4 laps, actually 8 laps. Let's make it 8 laps, and we'll just keep pounding around with Verstappen until the rain starts to come down. But Gasly, let's bring you in and check your setup again, mate. Let's see. Is this going to be the one now? There we go. That's more like it. 2 excellents and a great. 8 laps, ultras, 98%. Both boys are 98%. Looking good, feeling good. And let's see. But I've got to say, Vettel's up there, looking a bit better there. So I think Ferrari have brought some upgrades this weekend. So let's see how they do this episode. And maybe they can try and help us take down Hamilton. As a team, Red Bull and Ferrari can join forces to take down the OP nature of one Lewis Hamilton. But looks like we'll get maybe level 1 on ultra soft tyres before the rain comes down. So, yeah, not going to be too useful. But also, may as well spend the time out on track, to be fair. Get them some practice around this lap, and then I'll bring them in. I'll send them out on inters as well. I guess couldn't hurt, but also at the same time, do I want to save tyres? Yeah, we've got plenty of inters to spare, so yeah, go on, mate. Go out on inters and just get some running on there. Get some confidence in you. Right, race time, and it is raining indeed at the very start of this Grand Prix, so let's see how things go. Grid slot-wise, we're, P6 with Verstappen, so we've got a very good shot of being right at the top there. Gasly's been done dirty. 23rd place, not good. Right, Ericsson's on pole. Hulkenberg's injured. He's in 2nd place. Our 3rd. Lance Stroll. Verstappen's there. Where's Hamilton in all of this as we scroll down? Hamilton's P13. Okay, and both Ferraris have again been demoted down the order with their race grids. Leclerc there, although Vettel's actually quite high up, I think. Where's Vettel? Sebastian Vettel, where is he? P17. Okay, we're 23rd though, on the last row of the grid with Gasly, so he's got to make a comeback drive and a half. Verstappen P6, that's a pretty damn good grid slot. We can do a lot of work with that. In terms of the rain, it is going to be very, very wet, but then it's going to get towards dry. So I'm going to take in super soft knowledge. We only have level 2 on inters, but it's going to get to full wet tyres very soon, so there's no point doing that. And I think it might be there might be enough of a dry period right there at the end of the race, maybe to warrant super softs there. So I'm gonna risk it and go for supers, or do I? Because that could transition back to inters, so I could go level 2 on inters. What do I want to do? I think with Verstappen, because he's got a good knowledge, because he's better in the wet. He's got a trait that says he's better in the wet. I'm gonna go for intermediate level 2. Because I think he could do even better with that. But with Gasly, I think I'll stick with super soft knowledge. and we'll see how it goes. So we're going to go for a bit of a split strategy there. In terms of setups, I think everyone's starting on inters. Is that correct? Yeah, everyone's starting inters. So we're all going to transition onto full wets pretty damn quickly. But all of us will start on this. So let's go full out attack mode. And let's go for it. I was going to say for a second, could there be a risky strategy of starting Gasly on full wets? But we're just going to wear the tyres out to no end in the first few laps. So here we go then to 5 red lights. Verstappen P6, Gasly 23rd place. 5 red lights are out. And we are on the way. And it's a slow start there for Verstappen. Down to P7, unfortunately there. Big spray. Where's Gasly? Gasly's already up into P20. Verstappen's going down the order a little bit, but now he's back up P5. Hour in P4. The Racing Point car's looking very strong though. And he's in P5 now as we go down with 3 wide with a Porsche Alfa Romeo. Look at that. Through the roundabout. Big gaggle of cars. Gasly's back down to 22nd place. Let's just fast forward then and let this settle down a little bit there as we go through lap 1. Let's use some ERS, mate. Get past some cars. P5. Gasly, let's get past some cars there. He's P16. He's P14. Down the inside, P12. It's a fantastic lap for Gasly there. That's 10 places taken in 1 lap as we go through the roundabouts, through to the hairpin, P11. Down the inside, we're going to use ERS off this next corner. Here we go, ERS it. Come on, come on. P8, P7. Is it going to be P6 by the lap? Maybe not. P7, P6 as we cross the line. So that is really great. That is, we thought, wow. So I thought last time was great. This was another 16 overtakes. This was in 1 lap. Gasly was 22nd at the very start of this lap. He's now 6th. That's 16 overtakes for Gasly in 1 lap. Absolutely crazy. He's back down to P7 now, but still, bonkers stuff there. We can afford to overheat these tyres because we're all going to transition to full wet soon enough, so may as well. We're going to push with the ERS off this corner, try and get our and down the inside of the Racing Point car to the inside of the roundabout. We're up into P2. Lando Norris leads the way in the McLaren there, but Verstappen right now in P2 looking good. Gasly P6. We are looking good there. Vettel's behind us in P7, that improved Ferrari car. And Hamilton at the moment. Where is Hamilton? Hamilton is P3, so he's got ahead of those cars and he's now chasing down Verstappen. Is Norris's pits? He's going on to full wets. Is anyone else pitting? Is Hamilton going to pit? Hamilton's pit. I think it's still enough for inters, you know. With Gasly, I'll pit though, because we may as well. We've got the time. Let's not double stack with both of them. So I'll pit with Gasly, but I think Verstappen's got a good enough pace to maybe continue on. But with Gasly, I'll come in. Right, full wet tyres. Come on. Good pit stop, mate. Yep, all good. Out onto full wets. Verstappen, you're going to come in on full wets now. Charge battery. Fast pit stop. Let's use all that ERS as we go through down this straight, mate. Right, Verstappen comes back out in first place. You've got yellow flags. And we've jumped Lando Norris. So it was a good idea. The overcut strategy on inters has worked out. We've jumped Lando Norris. We're into P1 already of the South African Grand Prix. Gasly, where is he? I've been saving fuel with him. We need to save fuel desperately with Verstappen. He's 2.3 low fuel. So we're in first place, but now we need to save so much fuel with him. Gasly's in P7. He's not jumped. He's jumped Lance Stroll. And he's closer to Hamilton than we were. So, all in all, pretty good actually for both drivers. But now we both need to save a massive amount of fuel. Going to go auto for both drivers on ERS and let them do their thing. Verstappen 5.3 now ahead of Hamilton, who's going to chase us down. And we're on low fuel, and they are not. We're the only 2 cars saving this much fuel because I really went aggressive on the opening laps to try and get this lead. Because I think we can control this from here. Right, sit rep on lap number 7. Gasly has just overtaken Hamilton. I don't know what's quite occurring there. Hamilton is conserving his tyres. We're pushing them. He's conserving. So I missed it completely. So apologies for that. Because I wasn't expecting it. But Gasly's overtaken him because for some reason Hamilton, yeah. I think Hamilton's really struggling with his tyres or something like that because he's really conserving. We're pushing on. We've got, you know, a fair few laps till intermediates. But right now the tyre temps are plummeting if you go neutral for too much. Like Verstappen's been pushing now for 2 laps and his tyre temps are still middle. So I don't know what's going on with the Merc there. He's now pushing a little bit, so he might come back at us now because we're still saving fuel. So this might be a bit of a jostle and a swap position. So let's keep on board here with Gasly and see what happens as Hamilton is closing up a little bit. So I'd expect him to re-overtake him soon enough. But for now, Gasly's actually doing a pretty phenomenal job there. So obviously Gasly, like I said, doesn't have that musician trait anymore. So he's improved quite a fair bit. So at the moment, we're staying in P2. Looking pretty good. We'll go back down to neutral with Verstappen. We'll go pushing back with Gasly because he can afford to now. The tyre temps are dropping. But Hamilton's dropped it to neutral. So right now, just controlling the pace, actually. Pleasantly surprised. Okay, what on earth happened there? Oh, there's a car sideways. Okay, sit rep on lap 20. Nothing was really happening. Hamilton's now just collided with Andrea Lotterer. There, Lotterer has spun it in the Porsche. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. He's sideways on the track. And Hamilton has just crashed into him. He's got 0 tyre wear now. I think he's got a puncture off that, you know. He's got damage. So I wasn't expecting it. We're just running our race, really. I was actually about to maybe stop, slow things down to say that it looks like Hamilton's catching us. So we got very, very lucky there because Hamilton was within 1 second of us. And I was getting ready to say Hamilton's looked like he's making a charge to try and catch us and overtake us again. But now he's crashed, so he's got a puncher of some sort. We also got some issues for that Renault, and so he's going to come in for a pit stop. Meanwhile, we're still saving fuel for both drivers, and Gasly remains in P2 now. And now Vettel is up into P3. What did I say? We needed Hamilton to go down the order for us to start really getting him, because even if he finishes 3rd place, it's still not that much if he keeps winning other Grand Prix. But now, he's down in P6 behind Auer, and Vettel and Leclerc are 3 and 4. So a very great day for Ferrari then, and their improved car to be there. But for us, we're looking very, very good to control this Grand Prix. Verstappen's doing the job. Still 14 seconds ahead of Gasly, doing some good work. And Gasly looks like we should be fine for tyre wear to get to that intermediate periods. And it looks like it was probably a good call to put intermediate knowledge for Verstappen because there's a big intermediate period coming up. But then at the end of the Grand Prix, there's a dry period. So let's see how that works out. But for now, doing quite well. I don't need to save fuel anymore with Gasly. We can actually push that fuel and try and catch Verstappen maybe with him. Right, going to pit in on this lap with Gasly. Intermediates, park conditions fine. Charge up, fast pit stop there. Going to save fuel now on the entry. Verstappen has already gone past the pit lane. Just there. So is that turn 1? Yeah, that's turn 1. So now we've got fuel to burn with Verstappen. So we'll burn that fuel in. We'll pit on in this lap inters and go for a fast pit stop there. Right, Verstappen's in now for his pit stop. Gasly's made his. We can go overtake mode on the engine, really, and try and really push that out lap. Verstappen makes the pit stop. Good. No mistakes there for him. So he's going to be out in 1st place still. And the gap is going to be 20... No, 30. It's calculating. It's 9 seconds now. So Gasly's gained a few seconds there on Verstappen, actually, with that undercut. The undercut was quite powerful there. But now I'll go neutral and ego conserver, actually, with Gasly. I'll go pushing a little bit for Verstappen, let him push and burn the fuel a little bit. Gas needs to bring those tyre temps back down to earth because we need to go quite a few laps here. But still P2. But Vettel now is actually in the mix here. He's 5 seconds behind Gasly. And he's catching a little bit there. So now we might need to worry about Sebastian Vettel for the first time this season. I haven't said that in a long while since the last race of last season when he dominated that race. So let's watch out and just monitor that situation with Vettel chasing down Gasly. Meanwhile, Verstappen, let's go down to neutral here. And we'll keep on high fuel. Gasly needs to save some fuel. He should do in medium, though. And so we'll just go like this now for the remainder and see. I'm just going to keep an eye on that gap and see how it goes. Meanwhile, Hamilton is P5. He's got back ahead of Auer, and he's... Auer's now down to P9. He's trying to chase after Leclerc, 5 seconds behind Leclerc. I would imagine Hamilton does have the pace, and that Merc has the pace to try and catch up. But we'll see, because the Ferraris have looked pretty damn good this race, actually, so far. And the 2 McLarens are looking very tasty. P6 and 7 for Sainz and Norris, looking very good. All right, lap 35 then. So we are just about getting through halfway through this Grand Prix now. Or not even, actually. We're not just halfway yet. 41 laps remaining. The gap is now 3 seconds to Vettel. He is just there. That's a nice camera angle. So Vettel is catching us somewhat. I'm being cautious, though, because I don't want to really push too much to try and make sure we keep this gap to him, because otherwise we'll be in danger with Gasly for sure of wearing the tyres too much. I think I can push him a little bit now and use that fuel, but I just need to constantly keep on checking, back to medium to make sure we go the distance. Meanwhile, with Verstappen, he's been pushing now, but now we need to go back down to conserve. We'll keep on high, though, because we're actually good on fuel. And the gap's remaining about 13 seconds. So Gasly's keeping Verstappen honest. It's just really actually Vettel's probably got more pace than both of us here, catching us a little bit. Right, lap 43 then. Vettel's still about the same gap. You can see there he's in the background, but he's going a little bit. So I think we've extended the gap somewhat, a tiny bit, a smidge. It's hard to tell visually. Gap is still 13.9 though to Verstappen. So Gasly's keeping Verstappen quite honest. And Verstappen's just doing his thing, really. in terms of the dry period now, we're probably, lap 57, probably maybe earlier, lap 55 maybe we're looking at it. So we're about 10 laps away from the dry period. Hamilton is now up into P4. So like I said, he's got the pace there to overtake these Ferrari cars. He's now past Leclerc. But now there's a huge gap to Vettel. Like, Hamilton's there. Vettel's there on the halfway down the order, down the circuit. So that's going to be harder. So I think Hamilton will really have his work cut out to get into a podium position again. So that's pretty good news. That's great news for us, of course. Now Verstappen has gained 2 seconds on Gasly. That's because actually we're saving fuel. I forgot about that. We're saving fuel with Gasly because I want to have enough fuel at the end to really push with Gasly on overtake mode and try and see what we can do at the end of this Grand Prix. So that's why I'm saving fuel here. And the gap is increasing. We probably go back to medium, though, right now. Just to make sure we don't get into the clutches of Vettel. All right, Vettel is... Right, Vettel's been given a drive-through penalty here. So this might just change the race in terms of Hamilton. Might just get his own good luck here and get back into P3 with Vettel's penalty there. Meanwhile, both drivers having tyre wear issues. And we probably need to pit now for the dry tyres, I think, I would say. Verstappen can probably go on for one more lap. Gasly's tyres are absolutely kaput, so we need to pit for him. How many laps we got left? We got 20. How many is that? 20? We got 25. That's a little bit iffy. We've got knowledge on super softs though with Gasly, so I'm gonna go super softs for him, not risk it. Go fast, charge, go in, and then Verstappen will go on for one more lap because he's got the tyre wear to use. But he's also set the fast lap of the Grand Prix still on these inters, so may as well carry on. Whereas Gasly makes the pit stop for dries. Let's see how it goes. Right, Verstappen's going to come in. We're going to pit onto our ultras for Verstappen because he's got no knowledge on any dry tyres, so he may as well stick him on the fastest compound, and we know he's got the tyre wear to get to the end of the Grand Prix. Gasly, though, is going pretty damn rapid right now on full-out attack mode, trying to see how close we can get these guys, but Verstappen is out in P1. There is Gasly. We need to try and calm things down now, though, from full-out attack mode. Right, lap 63, Vettel's just set the fast lap of the Grand Prix. He's still P3 despite the drive-through penalty there, but I think he's pushing hard because 4 seconds back is Hamilton. So this is the fight to watch out for. Hamilton v Vettel for P3. We should be good for the 1-2 really here, unless a disaster happens. We're saving fuel. We have saved fuel with Gasly, so he's got good enough fuel. We need to conserve a little bit though. And Verstappen's looking good in tyre temps. He's got to still save fuel. But for now, I'm just going to actually stay on board with Hamilton here, try and see what this fight's going to be like. Will he catch Vettel, and will he get that crucial P3 to try and limit the damage for his race and his championship? As Leclerc sets fast up the Grand Prix, so the Ferrari's looking pretty damn tasty here around Cape Town. But Hamilton, is he gaining a lot on Vettel? Doesn't look like it, actually. I think Vettel's actually pulling away a little bit from Hamilton, you know. And George Russell has spun, apparently. Where has he span? He's now back around the right way. He's P13, though. But he's spanned there, so there's maybe still some tricky conditions out there. But meanwhile, Verstappen 15 seconds ahead of his teammate, doing well. And Gasly a further 15 ahead of his next person, which is Vettel. Now need to go back to fuel saving with him. And we're good for fuel with Verstappen, so we can now push with Verstappen. And we can probably push with Gasly on the tyres. Right, final lap of the Grand Prix then for Max Verstappen. He's been doing a fantastic job there of dominating this Grand Prix once he got into the lead. I always knew from P6 he was going to have a very good chance here, and he's done the job. You know, it was lightning fast in the full wet conditions, as he would be with the trait. But we're going to come across the line. P1 then. The win for Verstappen, his second win of the season, our second win of the season as a team. So it's now 3-2, Merc v Red Bull for wins, and Gasly sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix at the death to get what will be 18 plus 2 points. So 20 points there for Gasly as well. So that's been a fantastic day in the office. We got the maximum points we could ask for as a team. Hamilton's P4, ours way down in P6 then as well. So we got a lot of points on Mercedes there. This has been a fantastic... This is the weekend we needed to try and really kickstart our challenge for the championship this weekend. That is amazing stuff there, lads. Amazing stuff. All right, going through scrutineering then. And what? That is bollocks. Again, Hamilton steals the fastest lap from us. Are you serious? He did it right at the death again. Oh my god, this guy. This guy. He's so annoying. He's actually so... I've never hated an AI in a game as much as the Hamilton AI in this mod. Oh my god, he snatched... okay, so we get 18 then. And Hamilton gets 14 points. Bloody hell, really annoying. Still, gold and silver, good stuff there. Nice to see Vettel finally getting some good points in the season, to be fair to him. So we're now still 42 away from Hamilton in the championship. He's still got a mega lead. And Gasly's still ahead of Verstappen because obviously Verstappen lost a lot of ground being out for 2-3 races there. So still third place actually there. Vettel climbs all the way up to P11. Hubert is still in P12, despite having only done one race. So that's pretty damn good. Constructors, though, we're now 2 points behind Mercedes. That's looking a lot better, but Ferrari finally get their shit together. They're ahead of Racing Point. Racing Point go down from 4th to 5th, so that's an annoying weekend for them. But Ferrari now back into P3, but we're only 2 points behind Merck, already now applying the pressure early on, 5 races gone. That's good to see, very good to see. But as they move on then, 2.4 million in the bank, so good stuff there. So 39 million to play around with. Still all good. We're obviously waiting on that gearbox to be made, and then we can work on some more upgrades. Canada is next. That'll be interesting because it wasn't the best time for us, I think. Didn't Verstappen crash out at Canada, I think it was. I think it was Verstappen or Gasly. I'm pretty sure it was Verstappen, I think, that crashed at Canada. Or I might be thinking of the Renault career where maybe Vettel crashed. I'm not too sure. But someone crashed at Canada. So it hasn't been the best of times for us on this game, Canada, recently. So we'll see how that goes. But guys, if you did enjoy this episode, then be sure to smash that like button. Probably one of the strongest weekends we've had as a team so far this season, let alone actually the entire career so far with Red Bull Honda, I'd say. So that was really nice to be able to control that Grand Prix like that. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're new around, you can subscribe for weekly Formula content. I've been aarava. Hope you enjoyed today. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.